let's get to a prepared segment, something that actually scripted the fuck out. All right, oh, this is the wrong slide. Let's get to the beginning. I wanted to talk about Arizona. If you're from Arizona, if you've got friends from Arizona that are looking forward to signing petitions, getting engaged with politics, this is where they want to tune in. This is where you got to send them the link to this video. Because I'm a canvasser. I'm involved with canvassing. And so I know shit about canvassing. And so I know what's going on. I right now collect petitions or collect signatures for petitions so that we can put them on the ballot, because Arizona is one of the states where you can just collect signatures for a petition and put it on the ballot, and that's fucking awesome. So we're going to be going over some of the petitions. All the petitions are due July 2024 in the first week. I think it's July 5th. It might be July 3rd. Doesn't kind of matter. It's so early into July, it doesn't matter. If you don't have the signatures by July 1st, you're not going to have them by July 5th. So it really doesn't matter. We got Arizona for abortion access. This is like the most high profile petition in Arizona. It's an amendment to the Arizona Constitution to protect the right for women to choose to get an abortion. If it's enacted, abortion would be permitted in all cases except where the doctor deems the fetus would be old enough to be viable outside the womb without, quote, extraordinary medical intervention. And even then, if it is posing a health risk to the life of the mother, then it's permitted again. It's basically drawing the boundary at viability, and that's kind of all we need. This is being carried by volunteers, but mostly by the Fieldworks LLC company. Uh, if you ever want to get involved with politics, working at Fieldworks is probably what you're gonna want to do, because Fieldworks is founded by Democrats. Ew, I know, from DC. Ew. They're funded by Democrats from DC, founded by Democrats, and they work on Democrat campaigns like this. They're actually a for-profit company. They're not officially an arm of the Democrats, but they're not gonna help Republicans. They're a de facto arm of the Democrats. They do the field operations like this. You might have heard back in November that Ohio voted for an initiative like this to protect the right to abortion. That was Fieldworks. Fieldworks did that. Now Fieldworks is doing it in Arizona. They've also got other initiatives. I could actually take a look at their website and see what else they've got. They need about 380,000 signatures to put this on the ballot for the whole state to vote on it. And it is on track. I've actually seen 250,000 signatures and counting, which means they're pretty close. They're really closing in on 383,000 valid signatures. Jeez, they're closing in fast, honestly. Uh oh, I was going to say, if you ever want to get involved in politics and travel a bit, go to Fieldworks' website. If they have a campaign in your state, work on it. If they like you, then they'll fly you out other places. Work on their campaign, earn a minimum of $22 an hour, because canvassing earns you fucking good money. Earn $22 an hour canvassing, having the most awesome time of your life with Fieldworks. I mean, okay, there's some issues with Fieldworks, and we'll get into that another day. But enjoy a great job with Fieldworks, amazing benefits, and then you can be flown places. If they like you on a campaign and they're doing a short term, say they have a 2-week campaign somewhere else, they'll fly you there. I have friends that have been flown to Nebraska and Ohio and Virginia and DC and Missouri and California, working on all sorts of these initiatives. So you want to get in the door, because once you're like on their list of people, they will fly you places. They'll pay for your plane, they'll pay for your ticket, they'll give you a stipend for food, and you can fucking travel the country doing this kind of shit your whole life if you wanted to. Alright, then we got One Fair Wage. Oh man. I am definitely gonna dedicate like a 20-30 minute video documentary to this. I'm not gonna get too much into it right now, but The idea was to tie the minimum wage to a living wage and eliminate sub minimum wages. So right now, Arizona has cost of living adjustments to the minimum wage. So when the cost of living goes up, so does the minimum wage. That doesn't mean that the minimum wage is a living wage. It just goes up with the living wage. So it doesn't fall behind, nor does it catch up. It's always gonna be $2 behind. $2 an hour behind. Not the worst. I mean, I'm glad it's not stagnant, but it should be brought up a little more. It also would eliminate tipped wages and disability wages because people on disability can make as little as $1 an hour. Literally, there is no minimum wage if you have a disability. So companies like Goodwill will actually fucking pull out their stopwatch and watch a disabled person work and then compare it to a regularly abled person. And then they'll like do math calculations, be like, you work like 7 times slower than a regular person, so we're gonna pay you 7 times less because you're 7 times less valuable to us. So instead of getting $7 an hour, we're gonna give you $1 an hour. Minimum wage in Arizona isn't $1, but the federal minimum wage is seven. Or the minimum wage in Arizona isn't $7. Actually, right now it's $14.85. It just went up again because we have a yearly cost of living adjustment, like I was saying. Uh, but you can make. I've met people who make just like $3-4 an hour because they walk slower. Oh shit! Someone moving? Okay. People fucking just get disabled and walk slower, and then they earn $4 an hour, which I think is ridiculous. Because if you are less abled, you probably need that money more than other people to pay for all the accommodations and shit that you're gonna need to live with a disability. Uh, they needed only 240,000 signatures to get on the ballot, which is a much lower goal than the amendments to the Arizona Constitution, which need basically double 380,000 versus 240,000. It's a much lower goal, and I don't think they're in operation anymore. I need to disclose I have worked on this one, and I have worked on this one. I've worked on both of these so far, and one fair wage is not active in Arizona anymore. I do not believe that they are. I worked for them for about a month. They were terrible for me. They were fucking abusive employers. Not gonna get too much into that, but from my connections, I had a lot of connections over there. They're gone. They're gone. They're gone. And I don't need to get too much into that. Now we got Arizona Works Together. This one got so many people hyped up. I saw like, I don't know, 100 articles about it when it was announced. It's not happening though. Arizona Works Together was an amendment to the Arizona Constitution to remove the right to work. It's removing the right to work anti-union language from the Arizona Constitution to basically enshrine the right of Arizonans to unionize without fearing retaliation from their employers. But the thing is, it doesn't have any money, and so only volunteers are carrying this. And it's an amendment to the Arizona Constitution, so it needs 380,000 signatures. The thing about 380,000 signatures, holy shit, my face is covering half of this. Okay, I just realized that. I'm going to move my face. I'm so sorry. That is terrible. Let's make sure that we are moving the whole thing at once. I was covering the whole thing. I'm so sorry. No, we need to get in like a good corner. Or even smaller. I don't know. Shit. I just looked down and I was like, man, I was so prepared to do this. Okay, I really hope I didn't cover too much. I'll just go through the slides again really slowly, just in case I was covering up too much information. I think it's all still pretty intelligible. I mean, I was saying fucking everything that's on there. One fair wage gone. Yeah, okay. I'm just like watching my phone to make sure it's all visible. It's only carried by volunteers, and that's why it's not getting fucking anywhere. I've talked with people who organize this, help draft the language. I don't think it's going anywhere. I want it to. I really do. And I did give that whole speech at the beginning of the stream about how, like, if you say it's hopeless, that's what makes it hopeless and shit like that. And I do believe that, but it needs funding, and it just doesn't have it. And you cannot, like, Fieldworks, the Fieldworks contract with Arizona for abortion access is somewhere between 1.5 to $3 million by my estimate. If you need up to $3 million to get this wildly popular abortion access petition on the ballot, you need something like that to get the union protection petition on the ballot as well. And like you just can't do it with only volunteer. You just can't. I hope that they get the funding, but time is running out, and we might just have to wait till 2026 to try again. This one, I don't trust. This one's probably going to make it on the ballot, and I just don't trust it. It's an amendment to the Arizona Constitution to make all of the primary elections open. Voters can still vote in whatever party they choose to. I'm just going to move my camera so you can see better. Again, I apologize for being ill-prepared here. Make Elections Fair Act. Amendment to the Arizona Constitution to make all the primary elections open. As I was told by their canvassers, voters can still only vote in one party's primary, and I read the language that seems to check out. And they don't mention this so much, but it also implements ranked choice voting for any election with more than 2 candidates. That one's carried by an organization called Advanced Micro-Targeting. And this might get me blacklisted from the company. They pay $28 an hour, which is actually fucking insane. This might get me blacklisted from the company, but I don't trust them. That might change one day, but I don't trust them. Every person that I've met canvassing for this petition has been the sleaziest person I've ever met, and I don't trust them. Also, let's just look up, let's just go to google.com, and I'm gonna look up advanced micro-targeting, and let's see how we feel about it. I already had it freaking typed out. Micro-targeting news. Right? I actually don't need to say the word news. I'm just gonna... No. Advanced micro-targeting. When I go to advanced micro-targeting, the second result, this one I think is unrelated. I mean, let's see, advanced... Republican operative in 2019, advanced micro-targeting, group hired by Ohioans against corporate bailouts. That, okay, corporate bailouts are bad, but that could also be a misleading title. It's got a Republican on there. First story. Actually, let's see a little more about what that was about. Okay, I don't fucking know what's going on. I guess his canvassers got stalked. Okay. That's cool, I guess. I don't care. Okay. This is a employee of advanced micro-targeting freaking doing fraud, pretty much. Look at this.
Watch News 3's Ask the Expert.
Shut up. We're not listening to that. You won't get free ad revenue. I mean, your advertisement won't be rebroadcasted for free with the audio on my
Exclusive
channel.
new video into our newsroom. It shows signature collectors for the open primary and ranked choice ballot initiative here in Nevada.
Open primary and ranked choice ballot initiative in Nevada 2022. That sounds a lot like an initiative I heard Advanced Micro-Targeting is working on in Arizona. It almost sounds the exact same when I think about it.
They have broken the law.
Yeah, they're accused of misleading people to get them to sign that petition, and Brett Forrest is here in the studio to tell us more. And Jim Marie, we obtained these videos that purportedly show signature collectors telling people they're allowed to sign on behalf of a sibling or a spouse, or that signing can help lower rent. One local election lawyer tells me misleading people and fraudulently collecting signatures are felonies.
That I can sign for my brother too?
In a series of videos like this,
I'm not gonna say you can. I don't know his name.
signature collectors for the Better Voting Nevada initiative telling people they can sign for someone else.
Do I have to be registered? No.
He does. He's registered.
It's also known as the Open Primary and Ranked Choice Voting Initiative. But these videos appear to show workers with the company Advanced Micro-Targeting, or AMT, misleading people to gather signatures.
You gotta be registered in Clark County. My brother is. Got sign for my brother is? Yeah, hell yeah.
A local political lawyer believes the workers are committing multiple
Can I sign for my brother? Hell yeah. Can you believe
felonies.
it? Jesus. As a canvasser, that's fucking shocking to
saying this
hear.
calls into question all of the signatures they collected in the videos.
If you're running something like this, you have a responsibility to tell the truth, and you have a responsibility to train your canvassers.
Opposition to the initiative has been fierce, with many Nevada groups, along with top elected officials like Governor Sisolak and Senators Cortez Masto and Rosen, coming out against it, saying it would confuse voters and lead to ballots being thrown out.
But if there is an organized group that's writing checks to send whoever went out and did that video, they have not said who they are. They have not come out into the open and said, we're the opposition. I would prefer that they do that.
News 3 verified the videos, but the Ballot Initiative team suggests it was a form of entrapment.
Working in politics, you should always assume you're being recorded. And working in politics, you should train your canvassers to know that they may be recorded.
AMT, the company collecting signatures,
Entrapment.
releasing a scathing
Yeah, actually,
statement.
that was gonna be my comment. I can absolutely see most of the people from my work being because canvassers kind of get sweat for numbers. It's illegal to do a signature quota in Arizona, but a lot of organizations, I've worked for several by now, they can get pretty aggressive about, like, you gotta hit your goal every day, and so canvassers start feeling desperate and shit, and so they might start just like saying, hey, sign if you want to, sign whatever you think is gonna work. And they'll just take things. And I know I've seen people on campaigns, I cannot say which one, of course. I've seen people on campaigns, I've worked on more than just the ones I've mentioned, by the way, saying, you've signed before, just sign again. It doesn't matter, don't worry about it. They'll catch it. If you already signed, then it won't count against the petition. It does. If you sign again, it does count against the petition. Don't sign more than once. That's not good. Then you sign 0 times. You sign 1 time or you sign 0 times. 2 is actually equivalent to 0. Don't sign more than once. Keep track of which ones you've signed. There's only 5. Or 4 now, actually. Sorry, there's only 4. Fucking keep track of them. What's it? I can absolutely see some dudes, just like the voter gets like really pushy. He's like, I really want to sign. Don't worry, no one's gonna know. Let me sign it. And so, I absolutely believe that some aggressive people opposing the campaign might record and, you know, do entrapment. Canvassers are pretty easy to entrap, I think, because they don't expect they expect that you're a stranger on the street and not like a political operative trying to catch them with their pants down, so to speak. Still though, AMT definitely should have done that. I don't think this would have disqualified the campaign, this video footage. But that canvasser and all the signatures collected by that canvasser could have and likely were thrown out. If a canvasser gets caught doing fraud, pretty much every signature they collected is thrown out. Because then, like, how do you know it's not all fraud, right?
In response, saying these videos are an 11th hour act of desperation, calling it a smear attempt. Now, the voting initiative tells me
Yeah, it's not particularly damning. It doesn't show that the organization is. I've heard hearsay from the grapevine of organizations saying, you don't need to be registered to vote. Just write the address that you live at. No, you don't need to be registered to vote, though. Just write the address that you're currently standing at right now. I've heard that. That's illegal. And when the boss is telling the canvassers that, when they're trained to do fraud, that is terrible. This could just be a lone actor or lone couple actors being bad. Some canvassers not being good canvassers, being deceptive and fraudulent. But when the boss is telling them to do that, that's an organizational failure, and that organization should be completely discredited. What else do we see when we look? Those are just the first two results when we look at advanced micro-targeting. The third result, canvassers misrepresented Republican-backed petition initiative. Isn't it crazy that all of these are, like, Republican-backed? Okay, she ran back to cross her name off the petition. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. She felt misled. Why did she feel misled? Is there a video? Please, no! The circulator asked her to support a ballot initiative they allegedly claimed would reduce barriers to voting. A petition to make it easier to get an ID or driver's license. But then it turned out, when she looked it up, I can absolutely believe the petitioner actually could have believed that too. Thing is, petitioners a lot of times they get into the thing just like, I want money. And so they go in, I don't know what this petition is, I just want money. And then they get like 2 hours of training, orientation, and they're told, okay, this petition is all about this. And then they'll be like, oh, okay, so this is like a good thing. This is good. And then they go around repeating what they're told. But if what they're told is a lie, then they're repeating lies, and that's an organizational failure. And I think it's more likely that if a canvasser is telling lies, that it's that because they believe them and not because they want signatures. Because nobody wants to get caught lying, and so you'd rather just say something that's stretching the truth, that you believe comes from the truth. And so canvassers are going to be coming from, like, thinking that they're just, like, saying a kind of convenient part of the truth. But it sounds like here, what the canvasser was saying was, like, the opposite. Increase restrictions on voting access versus make it easier. Make it easier to get an ID. Like, what's going on here? Now there's an investigation. Interviews the area. Betsy DeVos-backed initiative program. Establish a tax credit program to fund donations for... Okay, just like the FSA things in Arizona. We'll get into that in another episode. Basically, like, freaking tax credits so that kids that go to the private schools can get scholarships from the government and take money out of the public school system and redirect it into the private school system. That's what it sounds like. Oh, yeah. Divert taxpayer dollars from public schools. Yeah, okay. And what did they lie saying it was? Let them learn? Let the kids learn? Yeah, let them learn in public schools. Or pay for the private school. You pay for the private school, you go to public school. You don't ask the government, you don't pull your kid out of public school and then demand dollars for private school. I think that's ridiculous. Saying that national... Oh, that's a different petition organization. That's not advanced micro-targeting. Huh? Okay. Where's AMT gonna... Okay. Per signature basis. Yeah, that's cringe. Per signature is always cringe. Yeah, it's not looking good for you guys at a freaking... Ooh. Ooh, we're trying to warn you about other petitions. Progressive campaigns? Not with AMT. Okay, wait. Raise the wage? Okay, raise the wages code for one fair wage. So that was there too. Promote the vote and raise the wage going over there. Let's see. Coming out of the public school system. Ugh. It's so sad. I need to actually... No, the more I read about shit that AMT's involved with, I need to, like... this one's way too complex. I don't know which petition they're saying AMT did here. People who have both petitions. Yeah, some canvassers double dip, and that's not okay, I don't think. Okay. Which one were they doing? Both of them missed the deadline. L, eat that one. Okay. Looks like... I can't tell which is which, is the thing. Like, okay, so it's not secure the vote. It's the private... Okay, I think it's sickening when I see that they worked on this defund public schools petition. I just can't trust them to make elections fair. Where'd it go? Where'd the tab go? Oh, okay. Who's Betsy DeVos again? I completely forgot. Remind me. Who is Betsy DeVos? No, I don't care who her brother is. Oh my god. Republican former Secretary of Education. Okay, so a ghoul. Okay, I understand now. Individuals who sign petitions under false pretenses have no way of invalidating their signature later if they realize. Yeah. There is one way, and it's to sign 5 more times and get arrested. Get your right to vote taken away before they can count the signature. Don't do that. Okay, so then... Okay, this one person got freaking suspicious of all things, and that's why there are 4 being mentioned here. I think this one was probably actually done by Fieldworks here. Michigan reproductive freedom in 2022 just sounds like... Fieldworks is all over reproductive freedom. See, this... Vosh would never do this, by the way. I'm just letting you know. Hassan, too. They just have no idea what's going on the ground. My brain's turning to mush here. It sounds like they did the freaking what's it? Not secure the vote. They did the vouchers one, public school voucher, or private school vouchers thing. Okay. Which canvassers were lying? Oh, the let them learn and secure the vote. The 2 Republican petitions. Awesome. The ones at the beginning. What you're saying doesn't make any sense. Secure the vote, engage in misleading canvassers. He said this was about voter ID. Is this to get rid of voter ID? No. Supported by Republican candidate in the primaries. Johnson wants to make it easier for them to get state IDs. Then Research Johnson realized she signed a petition that would impose more restrictions on voting. Okay, so secure the vote. Lied, said easier to get IDs. No, it's harder to use IDs. Okay. They would put all the money in a pot, and then your kid's money would go to the school they attend. She said, I sat on the Saline School's finance committee. I know how school finance work, and what you're saying just doesn't make any sense. I'm not signing that. Okay, get owned, AMT canvasser. Get owned. Get owned, AMT. Fuck AMT. Fuck them. Okay, yesterday, I bumped into someone from AMT, and I'm like, hey, do you know, I'm gonna use fake names here. I was like, hey, I had a friend who worked there for a bit. Do you know Michael? And he's like, Michael? The slacker? And I'm like, no, Michael the hard worker. And he's like, no, Michael's a fucking slacker. Michael's on his phone all day. I don't respect my... And I said, Michael's my friend. And I think he's a hard worker. And he's like, I'm like, I've worked with him. And I don't think he's like that. So, get your name out your mouth. It's just real suspicious to me when you're dogging on my boy. And also he doesn't like the abortion access thing. I don't trust an organization where the canvassers aren't really down with progressive things. I mean, it shouldn't be a requirement to believe in abortion access in order to work on an open primaries petition. Not at all. But if all the people working for this petition were also progressive like me, if I agreed with them on other things, then I would feel more comfortable signing for them. But I don't agree with them on other things, and so I don't feel comfortable signing for them. That was an interesting read. I enjoyed that one. Okay, now let's get on to the 4th article. Okay, I actually don't know if I want to get too far into this. Let's just see if they actually bring up AMT. Ohio's against corporate bailouts. 2 petition gatherers had been attacked. Others sent text messages offering cash and plane tickets home. What the hell? Okay, wait, we need to, like, read this from the beginning. I have such trouble fucking, reading text sometimes. Like, I feel like I have an inability to pay attention, and so I actually have a freaking, not just this, I have some Chrome extensions, which are gonna be handy-dandy tools for us right now, as soon as I find them. Oh, are they not on this account? Please be on this account. Jeez, no, they're not on this account. I was gonna use a text-to-speech thing. petition companies were canvassers were bribed to leave, and some of them worked for AMT. Okay, well that's actually sad. Oh, is that what that first thing that I got confused about at the beginning was? Okay, I see. Wait. So nuclear power plant bailout, right? There's a petition to prevent the bailout or to repeal the bailout. Racketeering charges. They passed the bailout law with the help of dark money group. So the Republicans did the dark money, okay? They used dark money to pass a bailout law. And then oh, okay, the Republican was also an operative for advanced micro-targeting. Wait, am I reading the wrong guy? Larry Fairman? That's his name? No, Tyler Fairman. Who the hell is Larry? Larry Household? Is that his name? His name is Larry Householder? That's cringe. So, the other guy, Tyler Fairman, was a Republican working for AMT, trying to get signatures to take the bailout law to ballot, get it shut down. Borges told him he could make the money troubles go away in exchange for information about the bailout repeal efforts. So he calls the FBI. He wears a wire to meet with a congressperson. Okay, kind of a base Republican here, honestly. Okay, this might actually be a W for AMT. I completely misread this, and I'm like actually sorry that I oh, AMT did like weird shenanigans here. FBI investigation. No, this is a W for them, and I'm glad to hear it because I want them to be a good organization. I just don't trust them. Suggested if I did it. If the reporters find out about the bribe, I will blow up your house. Damn. I will blow up your house. It's scary. They had folks following my petitioners in the field, and then on top of that, I had this individual who is again a very close friend and mentor threatening my life. It was very surreal. It was very bizarre, terrifying. Jeez. Okay. Within the Republican Party, though, right? Borges is also a Republican guy, right? Ex-Republican Party chair. Yeah, okay. And Republican former Ohio House Speaker. Okay. And, I mean, it looks like Tyler Fairman is a good Republican. We love to see a good Republican. But, like, the other two are, like, the freaking former chair and freaking former speaker. Probably the most influential Republicans in Ohio, and they threatened to fucking blow this guy's house up. Both facing 20 years in prison. Okay, that's so funny. So AMT did nothing wrong there. They just got mentioned because Tyler worked for them. That's funny as hell. We're not gonna get back into the Ohio thing now. Oh, 3 years later, he was threatening people's lives. Okay, so that's one of AMT's W's. Out of these 3 stories, the 4th one is just the earlier edition of this first story. AMT is just like mentioned, so they didn't even really do anything. They're actually no. Republican higher-ups in Ohio were fucking using dark money to bail out corporations and threatening people's lives. And then they got chewed out by the FBI, and they're cooked. And AMT was helping stop the bailouts, which is a good thing. And so thank you, AMT. This one, AMT canvassers recording doing bad things. AMT canvassers completely lying about the initiative. This is just like them being like, well, I don't know if you're signing for your brother or yourself because I don't know your name. So if you wrote your brother's name, I don't know that you're writing your brother's name. So it's technically fine. This one is just like they were completely lying about what that was in Michigan. So this one ambivalent, this one good. This one's pretty bad on them. And then this political circus right here. I've already read this story. Basically, the fucking Republican Party hired AMT to get the Green Party on the ballot. I find that extremely fucking suspicious. That yeah, the Green Party did not hire AMT to collect signatures for them. They were not required to register as a political committee or say who hired them. Close races between Republicans and Democrats that may have benefited from having that may have been altered by having the Green Party involved. Because third parties can pull away from whichever party they're more ideologically aligned with, right? They closed the loopholes so that AMT had to say what AMT was refusing to say who they worked for. Eventually they did say who they worked for, and it was the fucking Republicans. The Republicans hired AMT to get the Green Party on the 2020 ballot to suck away Democrat votes. That's election fraud. And AMT was covering it up. You know, that's not a good look for AMT. Continued to collect signatures even when the Green Party wasn't cool with it. That sucks. If the Green Party is going to get on the ballot, they need to do it with their own money and not with Republican money. Republicans confirmed they paid $100,000 to AMT to collect the signatures. That's fucking crazy. Think I'm done. Is this also the Ohio? That's also Ohio. Okay. Green Party, we're not trying to get ballot access, but somebody else is paying, like, why would the Republicans help the Green Party except to hurt the Democrats? That's just fucking fishy as fuck and dishonest and terrible. Election officials undercounted signatures on petitions targeting state senators. Okay. Well, this sounds like a government problem and not an AMT problem. Okay, I think this. It doesn't sound like a thing that AMT's involved with. AMT seems like a fishy company. This was meant to be just like, take a look at these cool petitions, alright? I think you should sign this one. If you somehow see this one, I really doubt you will unless you're in downtown Phoenix. And even then, probably not, because I don't think they're still functioning. Sign that one. This one, go ahead and sign it, because every signature counts, but you probably won't ever see it in your life. Maybe next cycle. Next cycle we'll try to do something about it. Use your best judgment. We'll come back to this one. I don't trust them. But they gotta do what they gotta do. Oh, and another issue which makes the open primaries petition like especially scary is that there are way more registered Republicans in Arizona, but Arizona Republicans are like John McCain Republicans. And so they hate Trump, but they're still Republican. They have all the same ideas, they just don't like Trump. And so if they're allowed to vote in Democrat primaries, they're going to vote for conservative Democrats in the primaries. And then we'll be stuck with a conservative Democrat nominee and then a fascist Republican nominee. It's kind of just like, it seems to me to be the way to launder the Democrat Party into, it's basically letting Republicans influence the Democrat Party without making them give up their Republican voter registration. They don't need to change their party registration, but they can start pulling the Democrat Party further right. And so that makes me not like this. And seeing that AMT has worked on other fucking sneaky campaigns to suck influence away from Democrats, I don't trust them one fucking bit. I know a lot of lefties are gonna come at me and be all like, they're gonna say, you think that the Democrats aren't already right-wing? You think the two parties aren't the same already? And no, I don't, because the worst thing the Democrats do is nothing, and the worst thing that Republicans do is, like, stone trans people. Like, one wants to fucking eradicate my existence, and the other just wants to go back to bed. That's what Democrats want to do. They want news to get boring so they can go back to bed. That's why they like Sleepy Joe. They want a boring president so they can just stop thinking. They just want to stop thinking and fucking goon all day. But Republicans are fierce and vicious and insane, and they want to get shit done. Bad shit done. They want to get bad shit done. Democrats don't want to get shit done. Republicans want to get bad shit done, and bad shit is bad and shouldn't be done. I wish good shit got done, but I'd prefer nothing get done than bad things get done. Honestly, nothing is better than bad things. That's my humble opinion as a political commentator. Let's see another update on the caucus right here.